Have you ever witnessed something so simple, yet it changed the way you look at life forever? The storyteller's voice comes softly, drawing the viewer in. This is the story of a powerful CEO, a man with everything, yet nothing, until one freezing night, at a lonely bus stop, he saw a little girl shivering in her sleep. What happened next would not only change his life, but touch the lives of thousands. Ethan Reed was the kind of man people whispered about in glass towers and boardrooms. At just 38, he was the CEO of a billion-dollar tech empire, known for his ruthless drive and relentless discipline. His schedule was tighter than the strings of a violin, morning meetings, stock market calls, endless paperwork, and cold dinners in a penthouse where silence echoed louder than laughter. He had it all: mansions, cars, respect. But ask anyone close to him, and they would tell you, Ethan had nothing. No family. No warmth. No love. His wealth couldn't fill the void inside his chest. One winter evening, after an exhausting board meeting that stretched past midnight, Ethan's chauffeur insisted on taking him home. But Ethan refused. "I need some air," he muttered, dismissing the car. He decided to walk through the quiet city streets, wrapped in his heavy coat. The world outside his office walls felt so different, cold, lonely, yet strangely alive, and that's when he saw her. At the corner bus stop, under a flickering streetlight, sat a small figure curled on a worn-out bench. A little girl, no more than 7 or 8, hugging her knees against the freezing wind. Her thin sweater was no match for the night chill. She had a small backpack clutched in her arms, and her head leaned against the side rail as she drifted in and out of sleep. Ethan stopped. Something inside him twisted painfully. He could have walked past. After all, wasn't that what people always did? Pretend not to see, not to know? But he couldn't. Not this time. He approached slowly. "Hey, are you okay?" The girl's eyes fluttered open, tired, scared, but also brave. She didn't answer at first. Her lips trembled. Finally, she whispered, "I'm fine, mister. Just waiting for the bus." But Ethan knew no bus came this late. And her words, "I'm fine," were the same words he had been telling himself for years. "Lies to survive. Where are your parents?" he asked gently. She lowered her gaze. "Gone." The weight of that single word hit him like a stone. Ethan wanted to help right there, to say, "Come with me," but the fear in her eyes reminded him she didn't trust strangers. So he took off his coat and draped it around her shoulders. "Keep warm," he said softly. She didn't resist. He left her with a promise, "I'll be back." That night, Ethan didn't sleep. The image of her shivering at that bus stop haunted him. For the first time in years, he felt a purpose beyond profit. The next morning, instead of heading to his office, he went back to that bus stop. The girl was still there, sitting with her small backpack, exhausted and hungry. This time, Ethan knelt down. "Come with me," he said gently. Not as a command, but an invitation. "Just breakfast. Nothing else." Her stomach growled louder than her pride, and she finally nodded. They went to a nearby cafe. She devoured the pancakes as if she hadn't eaten in days. Bit by bit, her story unfolded. Her name was Lily. Her mother had passed away from illness a year ago, and her father, well, he had left long before. Since then, she had been drifting from shelter to shelter, until they filled up and pushed her away. The bus stop had been her home for 3 nights. Ethan felt his throat tighten. This little girl had endured more pain in her short life than he ever had in all his years. Over the next few days, Ethan's life shifted. He arranged temporary guardianship through the city's child services, ensuring Lily had a safe place to sleep. But Ethan didn't stop there. He visited her daily. He brought books, warm clothes, and eventually, smiles. The board members of his company noticed something unusual too. Their cold, calculating CEO was changing. He smiled more. He listened more. He even left meetings early just to check on Lily, and then, something extraordinary happened. At a press conference weeks later, Ethan stood before cameras, not to announce a new product, but a new foundation. The Lily Hope Foundation, named after the little girl at the bus stop. Its mission, to build shelters, fund education, and give homeless children a future. When reporters asked why, Ethan's answer was simple: because one night, I walked past a bus stop. And instead of ignoring what I saw, I stopped. That little girl taught me that wealth means nothing if it cannot be used to change a life. The story went viral. Donations poured in. Volunteers signed up. The city built safe spaces for children, and Ethan used not just his money, but his influence, to spread the mission nationwide. But beyond the cameras, the real miracle was quieter. In the small apartment where Lily now lives safely, she looked at Ethan with trust in her eyes. "You're like my dad now," she whispered one evening. For the first time in decades, Ethan cried. Not from pain, but from love. And so, the man who once thought he had everything discovered the truth: wealth can buy comfort, but kindness creates family.